Welcome to How to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Let's explain Genesis format 2026.
Chapter 1.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the Genesis format and the fact that it started last year, 2026, and how it is now. I don't think it's a year because I think it was introduced in October 2025, so around that time. Anyways, let's get on with the rest of the video.
Chapter 2.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Genesis format for 2026. As you know, this new format Genesis was introduced by Konami in October last year, 2025. And we've not hit a year yet, and the format has been fantastic. Since October, we've been receiving support, updates from Konami, and they've been doing points on it so far. The format has been absolutely great. It's been balanced, and when there's been a particularly egregious strategy, it's been dealt with straight away. Also, there's another fact that since this is a lower powered format and there's no pendulums or links in this format, it's been an absolute breath of fresh air, especially at the local level, to play this format. It's felt fun, it's felt innovative, and it's also felt that cards that we now have from sets, especially cards that usually are considered garbage or not good, we can play them in this format. Strategies which are usually weak and don't have a home in the main format can now be played in this format. It doesn't mean that this format doesn't have a competitive side of its own, but it means though that this format it's much better, and I would say it's a great format now for anyone who is starting Yu-Gi-Oh or wants to learn the game, as it's a great format to get into. The pace is slower, the cards are slower, and because hand traps are pointed, you're less likely to see hand traps. It's a great format. As the more I've played, the more I've realized how the format teaches really good ways to deck build, as you can now play slower decks, slower and a slower style of play, but you can also play a faster style of play, and it's just enough to get into the swing of things. Not too fast, not too slow, at just the right pace for a game to be. My dream is that hopefully the main game can get to this pace. And I think the main game is in a really good place as well. I think we don't have anything in the main format that is ban worthy, which is quite interesting to say the least. But outside of that, I believe Genesis format is in a good place right now. I think with the release of Maze of Fuertos, I don't think anything has been pointed yet for one of the new cards. I feel that they're too weak, and so the archetype like Call of the Haunted, I think, is a perfect archetype for the Genesis format, and possibly the Radiant Typhoon archetype, I think, may get pointed soon. Who knows? Because it's being used as an engine, especially some of the quick play spells. But overall, it looks to be a great format that we're in, especially in Genesis format. Let's move on.
Chapter 3.
And what I want to say as I continue on talking about Genesis format is that I believe where Yu-Gi-Oh is now is in a fantastic place, especially for the TCG. We have another format which is significant. That means that there's another place where we can play the game, and furthermore, we can test out weaker strategies, weaker stuff still. I have been playing Genesis format and I like it. And I think majority of people who have played with locals and at several locals have really liked Genesis format. So I'm all for it, and I'm really excited to how Genesis format is going to shape up in 2026. And we'll talk about this, when October hits this year, because that'll be our official first year of Genesis. Well, let's head on to the conclusion.
final chapter.
Okay, and now I've reached the conclusion. So all I want to say when it comes to Genesis format for 2026, I believe the game is in a great place. And I also believe that when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, especially with the Genesis format, that I think we're not going to really know how Genesis format is going to be until we see how it shapes up until the rest of the year. Well, with that being said, tune in next time as I talk about more things on this channel. Hope to see you soon.
We come to the end of this video. So, as I like to say, you are one step closer to becoming a Yu-Gi-Oh master. My fate, right, is in your hands.